Hey guys, welcome and ting and ting and ting. Now the one we're going to be watching is called Did Romania Become Richer Than Hungary? Hungary. So, we're going to check this out and see what they're trying to say here. You understand what I'm going to say? Let's YouTube and simmer and check this vibe out.
Today, we embark on an exciting journey, tracing the trajectory of how Romania, once considered one of Europe's poorest countries, managed to catch up economically with its neighbor Hungary. Join us as we unveil the captivating story of this remarkable economic transformation and the factors that fueled Romania's rise. According to preliminary data given by Eurostat, in 2022, even though Hungary's GDP per capita measured at purchasing power parity has improved, bringing it in line with Portugal, Romania has caught up with the nation for the first time in decades. According to preliminary data, Hungary registered a quarterly drop in GDP in the second quarter of 2023, as the country is experiencing the longest technical recession streak on record. In contrast, the World Bank estimates confirm the prospect of constant economic growth for Romania until 2030. According to Business Review, in 2019, Bucharest was already richer than Budapest, while Banat and Transylvania were more developed than most of Hungary. There are many factors behind this remarkable economic ascent. To understand Romania's rise better, our journey begins with a glimpse into the country's economic history. In the post-communist era, Romania faced significant economic hurdles, including corruption, inefficiency, and a struggling industrial sector.
Now, while watching this video, we have to take into consideration who has created the video also. And also, reading from the comment section, in all the videos I did about Romania and anything that had to do with the economy or anything like that, we have to also take in consideration that what are the sources used to determine whether they have a better economy than Hungary. Now, if you talk to like the ordinary working man, they're struggling to make ends meet, which is the majority of the country. And this is happening all over the world, you know what I mean? Even here where I am, they keep saying the economy is doing great, the economy is doing great, jobs are up, but people are still working paycheck to paycheck. A lot of the people I work with paycheck to paycheck. Most of the people I know working in this part of the country here is working paycheck to paycheck. And I do believe that extends to the whole country. So what are they looking at to say that the economy is doing better if the people aren't doing better? Because I'm seeing the same people year in, year out having the same issue with paying bills and keeping food on the table. Also, working in a grocery store, I'm seeing a wide cross-section of the population coming in there using government assistance. So once again, they keep saying the economy is great, the economy is great. However, the ordinary working people seem to be struggling to make ends meet. And to tell you the truth, judging from the comments that I get about Romania and other videos that talk about the Romanian economy, the same thing is happening there. You know what I mean? So then, and somebody explained to me too a little bit saying that the GDP is what they call it, does not explain the whole picture. You understand what I mean? So it's looking at it from a sort of academic standpoint and not from an actual people standpoint. You know, are the people making ends meet? Are they comfortable? You know what I mean? Of course, comfort is relevant, I guess, or relative, I should say. But so while watching this, you know what I mean, we have to, first off, we have to check the source of what they're saying. Of course, they keep bashing communism, and I'm not saying one is right or the other, but then if it was a communist country, and I put quotation marks on communist, they would put it in that way to bash the other system to prove that it doesn't work. And this one works. So there's a lot of variables to keep in mind when watching these videos. And over the years, or reading stuff, or listening to the news for that matter, which I don't watch the news at all, because, you know, the news is pretty much dramatized, to suit a certain ideology or worldview. But let's keep going to see what else they say here.
In fact, in 1993, with a GDP per capita at purchasing power parity of only $6,900, Romania used to be even poorer than Bulgaria. A crucial factor in Romania's success was its prudent management of national debt. While Romania's debt by 1989 was virtually zero, according to IMF, in 1990, Hungary's national debt stood at 117% of its GDP. However, this zero-debt policy led by the Romanian communist regime came with major costs for the average Romanians. Our journey begins with a glimpse into Romania's challenging communist era. Under the communist rule, Romania experienced extreme austerity and economic hardship. The policy of repaying external debt at any cost resulted in widespread poverty and suffering. In 1978, the president of the country had started an austerity program, as Romania embarked on a frenzied campaign to repay its international creditors, resorting to drastic measures to generate income. The country slashed imports, restricted foreign travel, and curtailed access to the most basic necessities like electricity and heating during harsh winters. The impact was so severe that by 1983, the standard of living had fallen by almost 40%,
Wow.
according to IMF figures. The decade was also marked by horrific inflation, as in 1982 alone, it hit 35%. The electricity price had risen by 30%, while the natural gas price was raised by almost 150%. Even though austerity caused immediate hardships, it also set the stage for a future economic leap. The president's focus on heavy industry and infrastructure development laid the foundation for Romania's later industrialization. Factories, energy production, and transportation networks received substantial investments during this period. Another important factor contributing to Hungary's economic hardships is the country's political regime. Viktor Orban, the prime minister of the country, is considered to be the European Union's longest-serving leader after being in power for more than 12 years, as in 2022 he was re-elected for the fourth time. He has extended control over most walks of life in Hungary, on the way to forming a self-styled, illiberal democracy. His government has implemented laws restricting speech freedom and imposing heavy fines on critical outlets. This has raised concerns about press freedom and self-censorship. The leader's control over media ownership is another critical issue. Many media outlets in Hungary are linked to Orban's allies, raising questions about media plurality and objectivity. Having a big parliamentary majority on his side, he went as far as single-handedly writing a new constitution.
Now, you see, whenever they say fake news, and I'm not taking anybody's side here, don't get me wrong, but whenever anybody could say fake news, even if the news is real, they could say fake news. So how do we know which is the truth? Because then, like, here, people say they rely on, some people say they rely on Facebook for the news. And then they also rely on alternative news sources, which anybody could say anything to manipulate people into believing something, because then there's money in the background being made. You understand what I'm saying? So who's telling the truth? What is the real truth going on? And this is the predicament we're in, because you don't know who to believe anymore, because everybody's doing stuff to make money, so they'll say and do anything. And they could also encourt it with core beliefs that people have for centuries, like religion. You know what I mean? And even political beliefs. You know what I mean? People with just any kind of a strange worldview could take over a political party and say anything just to get people to believe what they want them to believe. So we're at a real crossroads, or I should say a dilemma, in what is real and what is not real. Let's keep going here.
Viktor Orban's regime is also well known for the ongoing discrimination campaign against refugees and LGBT individuals. Orban's Fidesz party has introduced a series of laws targeting the LGBT community, culminating in a constitutional amendment that defines marriage as between a man and a woman. These laws have restricted the community's rights, including the ability to adopt and access sex education. The implications of these laws are profound. They perpetuate discrimination, affecting people's access to essential services and their right to live freely and openly. The legal framework creates an atmosphere of intolerance and contributes to the marginalization of queer individuals. Orban's policies have triggered international condemnation, with European leaders and human rights organizations expressing concern. Some EU countries have taken steps to protect LGBT rights, creating tensions within the European Union and drawing attention to the clash between national and European values. The European Commission criticized the country's political regime many times, as the rule of law in Hungary is severely damaged. Viktor Orban's illiberal regime has economic consequences as well. In 2022, the European Commission froze EU funds amounting to almost 22 billion euros of Hungary's 2021 to 2027 cohesion fund.
I'll be honest with you, I was wondering where he was going with mentioning all of that there. So it came back full circle because, they're not getting any funds from the EU and stuff like that because of their policies, which in turn affects their economy. Okay. He brought it around. Okay. I was wondering, why is he going all the way there? Well, he brought it forward here. Okay. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing here or there. I'm just saying I understand where he was going by stating all of that there.
Funding. Money set aside for poor EU states to promote sustainable development. The reason for this decision was clearly stated. Hungary's failure to comply with the Charter of Fundamental Rights, in particular the rights of LGBT individuals, refugees, and academic freedom. In contrast, Romania is set to receive almost 80 billion euros from the European Union by 2027. Natural resources play as well a defining role when it comes to Romania's remarkable economic ascent, as the country has the second largest natural gas reserves in the European Union, just after the Netherlands. According to the Center for European Policy Analysis, its Black Sea gas resources are estimated to be between 80 to 200 billion cubic meters.
No, he says that they're getting all this money. But we also have to decipher where is money going. Is it kicking back to help the people? Judging from the comment section again here, and I'm just going by the comment section, it doesn't seem like the money is trickling down to the people. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the trickle-down effect by a former president here called Ronald Reagan, and the trickle-down didn't get to the people that needed it. So the trickle-down effect didn't work. So they're getting all this money. Is it trickling down to the people? That's the question. You know what I'm saying and thing? Now, I don't know. Hit me up in the comment section. From comments from previous videos, it seems like it's not. Because a lot of people talk about the corruption there and stuff like that. And I don't know much about it. I'm just learning about what's going on there right now. And a lot of people are just learning about what's going on there right now politically. Because the country wasn't really open to the world per se. Thanks, for the Olympics and stuff, people start paying attention like I did to them. And a lot of people are saying mysterious. It's not mysterious. To us it is, because we don't know what's going on there. Nobody's talking about it there. And that's why I don't watch the news, because unless there is like in 1989 they had the revolution, the whole world knew that. It's got to get to that point before people pay attention. But the day-to-day things that's going on there is a mystery to us. And I know the video was that I watched was paying more attention to cultural mystery, but then there's a political mystery too. And there's also just a day-to-day living mystery, because people don't know how people live there. They just assume by what's been told to them. That's where the mystery come in for me.
Enough to cover domestic demand for as long as 20 years. The nation's significant gas reserves have enhanced its geopolitical importance in the region. It has become a key player in European energy security, with its reserves contributing to the diversification of gas supply routes. Romania's natural resources have been a catalyst for economic growth. The extraction and processing of natural gas have created numerous job opportunities, driving employment and contributing to the country's GDP. According to OMV Petrom, one of the largest gas companies operating in Romania, the Black Sea exploration and production sector could attract investments in the region of more than 16 billion euros that would lead to the creation of up to 30,000 jobs.
But is the money, is the brunt of the money staying there? Are the companies local companies so that the money stays there? So South America, they found oil there. Trinidad and Tobago, they found oil there. Yes, it brought a lot of jobs. People were making money. But it was the money staying there. So you know what I'm saying? Was the brunt of the money staying there, or was it being sent over to the absentee owners? That's what I want to call them. Just like the absentee landowners that was exploiting the natural resources of places during like the slave trade or during the Irish potato farming, you know. And if you notice, I'm joining up all the countries into one. They're showing that it's happening all over. It's not just happening in certain parts of the world. And yet we let ideologies, religion, and beliefs separate us ordinary people. When if we sit down and we look at history, we could tell that people are being treated the same way. And let's just take out the slave trade. I'm not talking about that, but because we're talking about now, the structure of power is pretty much the same, only they're using more trickery than outright force. In some cases they do, don't get me wrong, but you know, countries that say, oh, everything is fine, and there's no wars, there's no real wars going on. But behind the scene, there's stuff going on that certain people just cannot get ahead. And it doesn't have to be because of, sometimes it's because of their color, sometimes it's because of their nationality, but sometimes your own people do it to you. Your own people do that stuff to you. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, Romania aims to become European Union's biggest gas producer and hopes to supply gas to Austria and Hungary through the Brua pipeline. However, according to Euronews, one area of concern remains Russia's reaction. Despite Romania's struggles to become energy independent, in 2023, Hungary raised its gas imports from Russia, while Austria's imports returned to the levels observed before Moscow launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In contrast with Romania, Hungary has limited fossil fuel resources of its own, and its domestic production is declining. The country imports 90% of its oil and gas, much of it from Russia. Hungary's dependence on energy imports makes the country vulnerable to external turmoil. After the war in Ukraine started, Hungary registered the highest inflation rate in the whole European Union, as in 2022 it reached 25%. Last year, food prices have increased by almost 44%, and the Hungarian forint weakened more than 40% against the US dollar, and over 20% against the euro. In conclusion, the future of Romania and Hungary hinges on the choices they make. Romania's history of debt management, rich natural resources, EU funds, and thriving sectors position it for a promising future as the nation quietly catches up with richer neighbors. If you found this
You said choices. Sometimes it's just one choice. So it's not like you have a choice here, a choice there, a choice there. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to go along with it. Lots of countries do that. They just have to go along with it. Because a stronger countries right there barreling down on them, ideologically, militarily and stuff. So they have no real choice. Except if you just have one choice, that's not a choice. A choice will have to encompass several different avenues that you could go. It's quite complicated. It's like we are pawns in a game. Oh, this place has got all the resources. What can we do to keep them there, you know? Oh, they really want to use their own resources? Let's put some political pressure on here, and so we could keep them down, you know what I mean? Until we find a way to get in there and take those things. Oh, let's start having investments there, you know what I mean? And then all the money is leaving there, and the people are struggling to make ends meet. It's just history. History shows you that that's happening over and over again. Anyway, I'll leave a link to this video in the description so you can go check it out and thing, you know what I mean? I'll also leave links to other videos of about Romania that I've reacted to. And you all take care of each other, alright? Cool runnings.